in high definition. This is Wake Up on your Central Coast News Source.
Good morning and thank you for joining us on this Thursday, February 12th. I'm meteorologist Ryan Smithies.
Good morning to you. I'm Megan Monroe. Happy Friday Eve, and we sure do have a picture-perfect forecast.
Absolutely. Lots of things going on outside, and of course the forecast is looking, as Megan said, picture-perfect. Mostly clear skies this morning. Temperatures anywhere from the middle 40s in some of the interior valleys to low 50s even on the coast. Not much of a fog concern this morning. Again, mostly clear skies. A little bit of a light breeze out of the east, and that will help promote some warming this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies outside of a high wispy cloud or two. Temperatures rising into the 70s very quickly by lunchtime today, topping out in the middle to upper 70s, even some spots in the low 80s.
Hard to believe it's February. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Now, the big day has finally arrived. Tee-off happens this morning for this year's AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and everyone from celebrities to professional golfers will be hitting the greens, and we have full coverage. First, let's break down what's happening today. The tournament consists of pro golfers who are matched up with the amateurs. Today through Sunday, they'll play all three courses, and the finals will be held in Pebble Beach. Here's a look at the celebrities expected to tee off today. This will help you plan what shuttle to take to see your favorite stars. Pacific Grove is running a shuttle service for Central Coast residents to the tournament today. Buses will start at the Museum of Natural History and run throughout the morning and afternoon. A daily pass is $20. But the big question on everyone's mind, how will the weather turn out for this year's event? Well, for that, we turn to meteorologist Ryan Smithies, who is in our weather center. Ryan, what can the golfers and the fans expect today?
Hey, Megan, yeah, more of the same like yesterday. Yesterday, everybody raving about the weather. Today, another day just like it. In fact, maybe even a few degrees warmer. This morning, Pebble Beach, we're looking at low 50s, so not too cool of a start. You know, a little cool, but otherwise mostly clear skies. We will end up with sunshine all day long today. A few high-level clouds. By lunchtime, we are already in the 70s. 73 Pebble Beach by noon today. And still not really cooling off very much into the afternoon. We'll reach 78, the high temperature today in Pebble Beach. A little bit of an east wind this morning, shouldn't really be much of an issue, just a light breeze. And then this afternoon we see that switch around to more off of the water. But otherwise, things looking picture perfect for all the festivities out there.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Now, the weather certainly is beautiful, and some celebrities agree. Despite some wind to contend with, here you see Ray Romano's hat being blown off by a small gust of wind. There it is. Overall, everyone said the Central Coast is shining during this year's tournament.
This is Monterey Peninsula the way it should be showed off all the time. You know, if it was shown off this way, this is a real estate weather.
Yeah, it was all right. It was pretty good. It's, you know, probably overdressed. It was a little warmer than I expected, but it was a beautiful day.
We're going to hear more from Clint Eastwood and other celebrities coming up in the next half hour. Stay tuned to find out how they're preparing for this year's Pro-Am. Until then, though, you can stay with News Channel 5 on air and online. For the latest Pro-Am coverage, you can visit our website, KIONrightnow.com. Well, happening today, the tickets to see Aerosmith at this year's California Rodeo Salinas go on sale. The iconic Rock and Roll Hall of Famers are expected to kick off the big week at the Salinas Sports Complex Friday, July 10th. So grab your tickets fast. Tickets go on sale beginning at 10 this morning. You can get yours at the Salinas Sports Complex box office on North Main Street, or you can purchase them online. You can head over to the California Rodeo Salinas website for more details. Well, now to this developing story. The journalism world is mourning the death of veteran 60 Minutes correspondent Bob Simon. The award-winning newsman died yesterday when the town car he was riding in crashed in New York City. Simon joined the CBS family in 1967. He was described by his colleagues as a scholar with a distinct, powerful voice of truth.
And he looked so dashing. I mean, he was the epitome of a foreign correspondent. He was brave. He would go places where you probably shouldn't have gone.
Now, his reporting took him all over the world, including Vietnam and Iraq. Simon and 3 of his colleagues were captured by Iraqi forces at the start of the Persian Gulf War. He spent more than a month in prison, an experience that he would later write about in his book, 40 Days. He was just 73 years old. Meantime, there's new details involving the shooting of a San Diego sports anchor. Police say there was some sort of dispute between Kyle Kroska and the alleged shooter, Mike Montana. It reportedly involved painting work that had been done at Kroska's house. And now his family speaking out about the tragedy.
Kyle's absolutely lucky to be alive. There are dozens of instances every day where people are not as lucky.
Montana surrendered to police Tuesday night. Court records show that he was out on bail when the alleged shooting took place. Montana has passed arrest for driving under the influence of drugs.
Now we head to Salinas, where a shooting investigation is underway after another man was shot near Del Monte Avenue and North Sanborn Road last night. The victim's injuries are considered life-threatening. Detectives are interviewing witnesses and looking at surveillance footage. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. Meantime, some Salinas residents are concerned about the safety at the intersection of North Sanborn and Freedom Parkway. This after a car accident Tuesday night. 4-year-old boy and his father are still in the hospital after that crash. Police and residents agree drivers often speed through the intersection, but police say the issue is on Freedom Parkway. It runs at 45 miles per hour and many drivers go faster.
Oh my God, I was scared because if that would have been like somebody from my family, I would be like so scared.
Officers say they might have investigators take another look at the intersection to see if traffic improvements need to be made. To Capitola now, where a controversial skate park is moving forward into the planning process. It was passed 3-2 last night by City Council. The discussion drew dozens of residents to City Hall for a public hearing. 2 residents are pushing for a 6,000 square foot skate park at Monterey Park. It would be entirely funded by private donors.
We do not have a skate park facility for the children here. You cannot skateboard anywhere within city limits. It is illegal.
Several residents spoke against the project, saying they're concerned about traffic and noise. Well, status update. Could this be a sign of the times?
Street signs in Hayward are getting a lot of attention for their unique message. One sign says 35 it's the speed limit, not a suggestion. Another sign says heads up, cross the street, and then update your Facebook.
We want people to do a double take, to pay attention, to get that message.
Yeah, the city says most drivers don't pay attention to street signs, so any reaction, positive or negative, is a victory. Very interesting. Status update.
Tricky.
I got a status update. Ooh, I bet you wish you lived on the West Coast today.
Hashtag California weather.
Yes, it is beautiful outside. Oh, I feel bad for anybody living on the East Coast right now because if they could just come here for 10 minutes.
It's a tale of two coasts. You've got Boston buried under snow and sub-freezing, and then you've got places like, here where we're soaring to near 80. Los Angeles approaching the 90-degree mark, and it's February. So just crazy stuff, but we'll get that trending today. California weather. How about it? Temperatures this morning are very mild, and you can thank all the warmth that's been sticking around. We've got a little bit of a breeze going on this morning out of the east coming off the hills, and that has promoted a little bit of warming, or at least kept us from cooling off significantly at the coast and in places like Salinas. 55 right now, Monterey. Salinas 52, same for us in Watsonville. Clear skies all the way around. No fog issues for us this morning. We're going to remain clear, partially due to the amount of dry air we have in place, and also because of that little bit of a breeze tends to keep us on the clear side. But a cool to mild morning, cool farther inland, mild at the coast. Mostly clear skies is key, and that will stick around all day today. A very warm day for us, getting up into the 70s to near 80 degrees this afternoon. Could flirt with some record highs even. And of course, we can thank this big high pressure area sitting over the western United States. Again, I mentioned that light northeast breeze that will continue over the next couple of days. Offshore flow is what we call that. It promotes sunny skies, dry air, and of course will allow us to warm up even more than yesterday. Yesterday was warm enough. Going forward, we're going to warm up even more. About 20 to 25 degrees above average in many locations. By lunchtime today, we are clear as a bell. Maybe a few high wispy clouds here and there, but overall picture perfect. That snapshot not really showing much of anything. Notice you'll see a couple high wispy clouds streaming through the day today, but by dinner time, drive home from work, school, going to bed, clear skies all the way around, and that will allow us to warm up in a big way. Highs today, how warm will we get? Upper 70s to near 80 in parts of the Santa Cruz Mountains. 78 Santa Cruz, 76 Capitola, SoCal. Slightly cooler right along the immediate coast. In the afternoon, we get a little bit of a breeze off the ocean, but otherwise up the San Lorenzo River Valley, 77 Boulder Creek, 80 degrees, Ben Lomond and Scotts Valley. Farther south and east, same kind of story. 80 degrees from Salinas to Watsonville. That will approach near record high temperatures and will continue this pattern over the next couple days. Slightly cooler, if you want to call it that, from Hollister to Gilroy. 76 for us in Hollister, 79 Aptos. That trend follows all the way down the 1. 78 Marina, 77 Monterey and Seaside on the south side of the peninsula. Same kind of thing. 78 Pebble Beach, lots of sunshine, a light breeze. I definitely say go with the short sleeve polo on the fairways today. You can keep the sweater at home. It is going to be warm. Even this morning, we're not too cool, in the 50s out there on the peninsula. The valley a little cool this morning, but we'll jump 30 to 40 degrees this afternoon to near 80 degrees from Gonzales to Soledad. 77 at the Pinnacles, slightly cooler from Parkfield to Bradley, but still breaking that 70-degree mark, getting into the low to middle 70s from Parkfield to Bradley, Lockwood, Fort Hunter, Liggett, about 76 today. 79 Carmel Valley. So forecast versus the record, many records in jeopardy. Again, near 80 in many places, records just above 80. So if we don't break the records today, we could likely do it tomorrow, and we'll stay warm for the next several days, even into the weekend. Nothing but sunshine, maybe a few high-level clouds, but no chance for rain. We stay dry, and temperatures will remain well above average. You see inland hives forecast to stick right around 80 degrees Friday into Saturday, even hanging on into Sunday before we cool off just a hair into the beginning of next week.
What a beautiful forecast. Thank you, Ryan. Coming up next on Wake Up Central Coast, bizarre cuisine at a California supermarket has the health department concerned. Up next, the disturbing details behind this delicacy that's now going viral.
Plus, a Southern California woman finds a watch with a love story behind it. Her quest to find its rightful owners this Valentine's next.
Coming up, the legacy of a broadcast legend. We honor the incredible career of 60 Minutes correspondent Bob Simon. Plus, a family struggle to make a life or death choice about their loved one's killer. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Hey, here's something you don't see every day. Raccoon meat for sale. It hit store shelves at a supermarket in Temple City, and that's prompted the health department to step in. The raccoons were placed in frozen bags and then were listed for $9.99 a pound. The employees say raccoon is considered a delicacy in China. One customer filmed the scene on her cell phone and then shared it on social media.
The way it's packaged in the store, it's so real and it's so fresh, and you don't see chickens with feathers and blood all over them and their expression, you know, with their tongue hanging out.
Certainly not. The market has stopped selling raccoons until the health department reviews it and then decides if the market can sell the meat or not. That's something I'll probably never forget to see again. All right, a Los Angeles woman wants to bring a happy ending to the Valentine's Day season. She found a watch nearly 20 years ago in an LA park.
Yeah, now she's hoping to reunite it with the owner. Reporter Andrew Fuji has more on the love story behind her find.
As Janah Cassidy opened boxes after recently moving, she found something she'd forgotten about for nearly 2 decades.
I needed something out of storage, and I came across the watch I found almost 20 years ago.
Janah said it was in the early 90s she was in a Los Angeles park, a park that she says she doesn't now remember, when she came across a Cartier watch in the grass. But it was its inscription on the back that caught her attention.
It says, "John loves Leslie, February 21, 1974.
Not knowing what to do with it, she put it away.
Back in the 90s, how do you find the owners of a lost watch? And I had no answers, so it went into storage.
But now she's determined to find the rightful owner. With so few clues, she called Cartier directly, and they said they may be able to track down who purchased the watch with the serial number. but the serial number is faded and nearly indecipherable.
And because it's very faint, so it seemed like this person used the watch a lot. And when I saw it, I'm like, God, it would be great to find the owners.
Just a few days away from Valentine's Day, Janah hopes this love story will have a happy ending.
It'd be fabulous if Leslie can have the watch back.
Happy ending indeed.
Yeah, let's hope so. Just in time for Valentine's Day. It'd be a nice ending to that story.
Yes, I think so. And speaking of a nice story, we've got some very beautiful weather.
You couldn't ask for better weather on Valentine's Day here. Temperatures are going to be soaring, maybe a little too warm for cuddle weather. I keep saying that all week, but I mean, it's just not even going to be cool at all. We're going to be so warm that everybody's going to be flocking to the beaches. So I must tell you that we do have a beach hazard statement in place today through Saturday. This is just saying that we have long period swell on the way, a little bit larger than normal. So that will promote a little bit of a rip current risk with large breakers on the coast there. Really west-facing beaches like Del Monte Beach down to Carmel. West-facing beaches is really going to be where that is. So keep it mindful of that. Dangerous surf conditions over the next couple of days. I know a lot of people are going to cool off in the water. Although not too cool this morning. Tongue-tied is what I am. 55 Monterey, 52 Salinas, and in Watsonville. Clear skies this morning. No fog issues to talk about. Really just clear skies and a little bit of a light breeze out of the east. Really going to be a cool morning, but still warming up significantly in the 70s to near 80 degrees. Mostly clear skies all day long today and for the next several days. Ridge of high pressure just sitting on top of us. Not much cloud cover at all, really, from San Francisco down to Monterey, down to LA, San Diego, you name it. Just a little bit of high level cloud cover well offshore. That's streaming to the north, and we see a few bits of wispy clouds that kind of come off that through the morning and afternoon hours, but nothing that will inhibit our full sunshine this morning as the sun comes up about 7 a.m. But still 6 a.m. clear skies into the 7 a.m. hour all the way to lunchtime. By noon today, clear as a bell, nothing on the map at all. A little bit of a light easterly breeze through the afternoon, and that will allow temperatures to warm up significantly. Nothing is going to hold back temperatures. They're just going to be soaring into the afternoon. By 6 p.m., drive home from work or maybe dinner on the table. Still picture perfect. Maybe even sit outside for dinner tonight. Temperatures will still be very warm as the sun sets tonight. Into this evening, not much really going on, just clear skies. No fog concerns or low clouds at all. Temperatures will be the story today, getting into the upper 70s to near 80. 78 Santa Cruz, same for us in Felton. 80 degrees. We'll hit it in Ben Lomond over to Scotts Valley, even higher in elevation. Boulder Creek 77 today. The only cool spot, Davenport to Swanson, about 72, 73, but cool relatively speaking, still well above average. And this trend continues farther south and east as well. Watsonville, Salinas, 80 degrees this afternoon, and we'll warm up very quickly, starting at about 50 and then jumping 30 degrees to 80 degrees, Salinas and Watsonville. Again, everywhere else, Gilroy, Hollister will be in the middle 70s to near 80, 76 for us in Hollister. Same for us in San Juan Bautista, and that trend down the 1 corridor from Aptos to Castroville and Marina, about 77 to 79 degrees. Even on the peninsula, we'll warm up significantly too. 77 Monterey, Seaside, 77 Carmel, and all the festivities. 78 on the fairways in Pebble Beach. Looking absolutely gorgeous. Real estate weather here on the Monterey Peninsula. Southbound on 101, about 80 degrees, 79, 80, 79 King City, 80 Forest Gonzalez and Soledad, 75, slightly cooler by a couple degrees, if that, for Bradley Parkfield, where we start off just a little bit cooler in the upper 30s to near 40. Carmel Valley, 79 degrees today. And going forward, it's not even the warmest day yet. Tomorrow into Saturday will be even warmer for the most part. On the coast, we stick to middle to upper 70s for the average high temperature. Monday, President's Day, Saturday, Valentine's Day. Perfect weather all the way around. Inland areas will focus on the same kind of deal, even warmer, near 80 degrees by Friday and Saturday. So we continue that trend. Very likely that we will see some record-breaking high temperatures over the next couple days. And of course, no rainfall on the map. We need more rainfall, but I guess something to enjoy for the time being.
Looks like it. Wow, how beautiful. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah. Well, time now for this morning's Ag Report. New numbers out this week show wine crops are down dramatically across the state.
Around 4 million tons of grapes were crushed in 2014. That's down 11% from the year before's record crop. Executive Director of the Lodi Wine Grape Commission says the industry knew those record crops wouldn't last forever.
Vines that produce very vigorously for a couple of years in a row want to take a natural break.
Many winemakers say the drop-off coming and saved some of their, they saw the drop-off coming and saved some of their 2013 wines to sell now. And now they're just preparing for the lasting impacts of this year's drought.
Time now for your tech report. Kill switches on smartphones are shown to reduce theft.
And investigators hoping for a smooth ride from Tesla's earnings. Jen King has all that and more from the NASDAQ in today's tech report.
Smartphone thefts have dropped dramatically in New York, San Francisco, and London since kill switches have been installed on the phones. Now, iPhone thefts especially are down. According to New York's Attorney General, the kill switches render the phones useless if they are reported stolen. Well, Tesla had a major miss in its earnings, but it was optimistic about the rest of the year. Now, the big question for investors is if demand is weakening for its Model S overseas. Reuters reports it sold only 120 of those cars in China in January. Well, Netflix accidentally released House of Cards Season 3 and then pulled it. Then they went to Twitter to admit the error and made a joke about in Washington there's always a leak. Now, of course, this could also be a scheme to attract attention to the show, which debuts February 27th. And future travel apps will plan your road trip bathroom breaks. Popular Science magazine says MIT researchers have come up with an algorithm that will work with traffic and map programs to figure out when you'll need to take a break and find the nearest restroom. Now, it doesn't just work for cars, but also buses, planes, and public transit. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, I'm Jane King with your tech report.
Coming up next on Wake Up Central Coast, a look at what's happening through health headlines next. It's 27 minutes after the hour, and here's what's topping your health headlines. If you thought you knew how many people died each year from smoking, think again. The Surgeon General says smoking kills about 480,000 Americans each year, but the American Cancer Society says it's actually much higher. Researchers say an additional 60,000 smokers die from diseases that may be linked to smoking, like heart disease, renal failure, and infections. Women with dense breast tissue need to be educated about breast cancer. Harvard radiologists found that laws requiring extra screenings like MRIs and ultrasounds can lead to false positives. They suggest doctors speak with their patients and explain the risk factors. Patients with low levels of vitamin D may be at a higher risk for severe stroke. Researchers say vitamin D deficiency may also predict poor health for months after a stroke. The findings may lead to future research on whether supplements can actually protect against high-risk patients. This next story may make your heart skip a beat, literally. Besides being delicious, chocolate may be also great for your heart. According to a registered dietitian, chocolate has nutrients that can protect our hearts. They're called flavonoids, and they work to increase the blood flow to your heart and reduce plaque.
If you're looking for the healthier versions of chocolate, look for the term dark chocolate, so that's going to be on the label, and then look for a higher percentage.
Other benefits of dark chocolate include raising good cholesterol, and they also contain fiber and antioxidants. Coming up next on Wake Up Central Coast, the Pebble Beach National Pro-Am kicks off today. A breakdown of some of the players expected to tee off. That's next. Plus, the numbers were drawn and the winners were picked. Who took home the massive Powerball prizes? Next. First, here's a live look at Hollywood Boulevard. We'll be right back.